Hey guys, it's Chris from Smithy Fitness. Welcome back. Good to see you. I've got my 28 and 24 kilo bells today, and I'm going to do some suitcase carries while I talk to you. I've been doing this weight for about the last month, probably 8, 9 carries with this weight. I've gone heavier in the past, and I will as we get towards the end of the season, but it's finally starting to feel a little bit easier, just a little bit. Takes a lot to get better, but I'm in a suitcase carry with the 28, and hopefully I'll be okay to the end of the field. So I want to talk about getting over setbacks. We all have them, and you can either wallow in your pain or you can kind of stand up and get going and take advantage of whatever's happened to you. And I have a core belief that things always work out for me. That's my core belief, and I've held it for years. So when something bad happens, and you know this if you look at your history, when you've had bad things, eventually you recover, you learn from that bad thing, and you go on to better things. And if that bad thing hadn't happened, you never get on to that better thing. So things always work out, and they always work out for you too. So we want to keep that in mind. So how to get over setbacks? Well, one of the best ways is by working out, because you have full control over your workouts. You're the one who gets to the gym. You're the one who picks up the weight. You're the one who puts the weight down. Whew. That wasn't that easy. But by doing that, you're taking action. And anytime you take action, you will improve. If you just sit at home and take no action, you'll just kind of wallow in your self-pity, and that doesn't serve. It doesn't do any good at all. So number one is a physical workout. Now, it's nice if it's summertime and you can get the sun in your eyes and you can get your feet on the ground, because you will benefit from the rays, from the vitamin D, and grounding has so many benefits. As I've talked about before, the earth has a negative charge. When we get out of balance, we have a positive charge. The negative charge goes through your feet and balances out whatever the positive charge you have in you. And positive in this case doesn't mean positive. It's actually a negative thing. So the negative, we want to be in balance. So grounding will help. So to get over some sort of personal pain, business, personal, whatever it is, get out, get moving, get working out. Now, of course, there's lots of other things you can do as well. Take a course, read a book. Books are fantastic. I know we all default to the internet these days, but reading is a different thing. And when you read, I'm not talking about novels in particular, although certainly that's okay. I'm really talking about nonfiction, how to be better at life, how to, kick a soccer ball better, how, anything, how to start a YouTube channel, whatever. Those books, how to have a positive attitude no matter what. There's lots of those books out there. I'm reading Scott Adams right now. I really like Scott, and he's just got a great way of looking at life. So we've got to take action. Action trumps inaction 1,000%, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so as you get better at push-ups, you can start doing variations. And the most basic one, of course, is the clapping push-up. I'm going to do some right now. I haven't done many this year. If you watch my last video, I did 65 consecutive push-ups in celebration of my 65th birthday. And so I was kind of working towards that in a way. But now let's try some clapping push-ups. I'll do 10 or 15, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna change hands now and go back with the 28 in my right hand. By the way, I have a 28 and a 32 kilo bell. I said 28 and 24. This is the 28. So, talking about action versus inaction, you can also think about it as gaining energy versus not gaining energy, or going to places where there is energy versus staying in your home or wherever private place you have, which doesn't have any energy other than your own. And again, I'll bring it back to the workout. So I've got a few fields I go to, and my other field, or one of the other fields, there's this group of, I'm going to say they're Iraqi men, Iraqi Canadians. There's usually between 5 and 10 of them, and they are always there when I'm there. And I get to that field maybe twice a week. So you start off with a little nod. By week 3, you start off ignoring one another. And then by the 3rd or 4th, there's a little nod. And then by the 5th or 6th workout, you're saying hello. And I've been saying to them, come on out, give it a try. Because they comment, they ask how heavy that is. They tell me good job or give me a thumbs up. That gives me energy. But the last time I was there, 2 of the guys came out and picked up the 28 and 32. And one guy did some half squats, pretty good. Told me he was 55. And the other guy, much younger, say 35, he carried the weights to midfield and then carried them back. So pretty good. But that gives me energy. I know I'm inspiring those men. I know that I'm sort of hopefully shattering the myth that 60 or 55 or 50 or 65 is old. That gives me energy. Now this field, there's a guy just came kicking a soccer ball down there. That's good. Quite often there's a couple of men around my age walking around the track, and I've gotten to know them over the years, and I talk to them, and they have their aches and their pains, and I try to encourage them, tell them they're doing great and that they can do more, that don't accept the dogma that you're getting old. I call bullshit on that. That's another belief I have. I talked about that a couple of videos ago. I'm not old. I'm never going to get old, and I can continue to improve. And I want to show you that you can continue to improve as well. So getting a little off topic, but action beats inaction always. And action is where luck resides. You can say some people are lucky, but they're putting themselves in a place where there's a chance to be lucky rather than staying at home or being totally withdrawn from the world where there's absolutely no chance. I'm going to talk about that in the next segment, but let's do some walking pull-ups and see how that goes. I'll show you right now. Okay, walking pull-ups. Let's see what happens. So the bar is pretty wet. Sorry, the bar is dry. I wet my hands a bit before I started, but it's really getting slippery here. Is that 8? 9. 10. 11. Couldn't quite make it. All right, so I'm going to carry the 32 kilo bell in my left hand, try to get to midfield, turn around and come back with it in my right hand, and wrap this video up. Here we go. Brace the back. Oh yeah. I am the luckiest guy you'll ever meet. And that is a core belief I have. Another one I've had for years. And I am lucky. I've had some girlfriends say, you know, Chris, you're so lucky to be with me. And I'm always, yes, baby, you are absolutely right. I am so lucky to be with you. And I feel that about everything, you know. I've had other people say, wow, Chris, you have great genes. You're just lucky that you were born this way. And I'm like, I am so lucky to be born this way, but more realistically, to have done 200 workouts a year for the last 50 years. But I'm still lucky. And yes, I'm lucky I have the mindset I have. For you, when you know, you have to make your own luck. So I've made my luck by coming out to the field, by going to the gym, by going to the squash court, tennis court, CrossFit, whatever it was, the weightlifting, of course. I've made my luck. And you can too. But you have to go where people are. You have to go and do something that perhaps is a risk and is not easy. But that is where luck resides. So if your belief, if your belief is that you're not lucky, you're just, you know, it's just the way it is, that's a stinking belief. It's not true. But you do have to help the luck appear in your life. You have to do your part. Get out there, make a difference in the world, take a risk, start a business. Don't be afraid of embarrassment. Everybody who does embarrass themselves gets better because of it, because you learn. We can all elevate. That's all I got for you today, guys. Hope you're doing well. Get out there, lift something heavy, and make it happen. And I will see you in the next one.